All right, everybody, we're here. We're ready to go. Let's do this. It's going to be awesome. Today's topic, yes, you heard it. You fools. It's insults. Yes. Well, I'm not going to insult you guys, but we're going to insult some people together. It'll be like a group team building activity. We're going to make fun of these people and those people, and we're going to do it all in English. We're going to make you sound awesome in English, but be careful. Careful with these insults. Some of them might be really powerful, so we don't want you guys getting out of control. Please use your insults responsibly and carefully. But I'm fucking excited about this topic today. It's gonna be awesome. So let's go. See, you can tell when I'm excited. I'm super excited. I like this topic. And I'm also highly caffeinated, so it's gonna be amazing. Here we go. So there it is. There's the document. Let's jump in. Let's say good morning or say good night to a few people. Yeah, Mansoor. I know you're tired, but you made the right decision to wait for me and the rest of this awesomeness and stay up because you're going to appreciate it. You're going to like it. Here we go. So what's up, Lali? You're number one again, back on top. On point. Ahmed's in the house. What's up, Ahmed? Amr. What's up, Amr? Edgar, my man's in the house. Fully caffeinated Edgar. Thank you very much. Mansoor has been waiting. Keep waiting, Mansoor. We're getting there. Cheyenne. What's up, Cheyenne? Duha. Who else we got here? Vlad's in the house. What's up, Vlad? Masi is in the house. What's up, Masi? Julian's in the house. What's up, brother? Munira. Hello, Munira. How you doing, Duha? All right. And I think I got everybody. Sandar. Hello. Hi, dear all. Hello, dear. All right. I think we got everybody. Zia, there he is. He's in the house. Hello, son. Good morning, sunshine. Pilar's in the house. What's up, Pilar? Marjorie. Hello, Marjorie. You guys are very lucky. You guys are very lucky that you're tuning in for this particular episode because it's going to be awesome. All right, so should I even start with a question of the day? Okay, now, before we get into this craziness, let me set it up, okay? So when you say a bad word today, I don't want you to put bad words all over. I would like you to censor yourself today because we are an educational website, so we're going to teach you the cool stuff. Don't you worry about that. But when you say a bad word, for example, can you do this, please? If it's an easy bad word, like that's a bad word, everybody knows what I'm saying. It's called the F-bomb, dropping the F-bomb. So we don't want to drop the F-bomb too much. Hello, Gertrudis, how you doing? We don't want to drop the F-bomb too much. And if I say this little word here, of course you know what that word is, but we don't have to say it because I don't think I'm allowed to scream profanities across YouTube. The bosses might not like that. So we're going to keep it classy. We're going to learn some awesome stuff, but we're also going to keep it educational. Poo-poo, yeah, you can say poo as much as you want, but don't say the other one. You can censor that. Or if you want to do this, you can do this one. This one's clever. Look at that. So now you know what I'm talking about. If I do this, or here it is. Now you know what I'm, interesting. I just got censored. So there you go. Yeah, exactly. You need to know how to insult people. I agree. So anyways, apparently I'm getting censored for using that. I'm trying to do this word with another S, and it's not letting me do it. So there you go. I want you guys to be nice today and kind of like censor your stuff a little bit. So the question I'll start you guys off with is a simple one. How many bad words, naughty words, do you know in English? And you can add a few of them to the chat. Yeah, that's fine. But remember, censor yourself, be nice. How many bad words do you know in English? Is it, 20, 30? What do you think? Take a guess, So that's the question we're going to start off today. How many bad words? Yeah, I'm sure Ziad knows a ton. An F-bomb ton. So how many do you know? Okay, so we're warming up right now. We're not really getting into too many of the bad words. You don't have to tell me all the bad words you know. I'm sure you know a bunch, and you're going to know more after the end of the class. But give me, you know what I mean, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50? Tell me what you got. Maybe 20? Okay, not bad. That's respectable, Edgar. About 10, Amr. Okay, what else? Mansoor. Okay, again, you don't have to give me your list. You don't have to tell me. I'm sure you know them. Just give me the number, okay? Because we're not gonna do only bad. We're gonna do insults today, saying something bad about somebody. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to use bad words all the time. I'm going to show you a variety of words that are, kind of rude way. 9,000. I don't know, man. I don't think I know 9,000 bad words. Okay, so some of you, Masi, you clearly need my help, and you've come to the right place. I am the perfect person to teach you all the bad words that you need to know in English to say some stuff. Okay? So again, let's keep it classy, keep those bad words censored, but let's get into this. This is going to be fun. Lolly, you know more than one. I'm sure you do. All right, so here we go. People are excited about this topic. I'm excited about this topic. So here we go. What we're going to do is this. We're going to start with a warm-up. Honestly, this is probably everything we're going to do today. We're going to sit here for a long time, but we're going to fill up your brain with a ton of stuff. So here we go. So number one is this. It says, look at the following questions and answer them. And of course, I've already done this, but let me do it one more time. Let's keep it classy. Please use na characters. After all, this is an educational environment. All right, so here we go. So here we go. Question number one is this. What are some ways to tell people that they are stupid? Now, of course, you can say you are stupid, and this is the word that everybody knows. So here's your first new word, and stupid. Stupid is an adjective. Okay, so let's dive into this right away. So we got stupid. So here's a word for you, stupid. Not smart. You say someone is stupid. What's another way? Dumb. Yes, you can say someone, you are dumb. You are dumb. It just means stupid. It's another way to say stupid. What's another way we can do this? Okay, I don't think many swear words if you compare from Russian. Okay, well, there you go. Well, in English, we're fortunate to have a lot. Dull means boring, duha, so it's not the same. Dull is boring. Yes, you could say you are a fool. Okay, this is a little bit of an old word, right? You say you are a fool, but fool could also be someone who makes a lot of jokes, like probably Kent is a big fool, so you could definitely use that for me. Yes, and you can say you are an idiot. Okay, so an idiot means a stupid person, so you can just say, you don't have to say you are a stupid person, you can say you are an idiot. There we go. Donkey, all right, that's getting a little bit away. Silly, what does silly mean? Silly is kind of like you're funny, your behavior is kind of funny, you're silly. So it's not that you're stupid, it's just that your behavior is a little funny. Let's see what else we got here. You are a bonehead. Yes, correct. You can use it. This is a little bit of an old one, but you can call someone a bone. I don't know, like your bonehead. You're a bonehead. Maybe there's no brain in here. There's just bone. So you're a bonehead. It means you're kind of a stupid person. Okay, so there we go. That's another one we can use. Let's put that right there. Next one. You are a jerk. Jerk does not mean stupid. A jerk means you're a bad, rude person, right? You're bad, you do bad things. You're a jerk. Like, oh, it's our anniversary and you didn't buy me anything. You're a jerk. That's when you would use jerk. A simpleton, Vlad. Okay, that is correct. You are correct, but it's not common. So I'm going to leave that off because this class is about how to sound kind of natural, up to date. So I'm going to leave simpleton off. A dumb butt, Julian, I feel like you just created that one. It's funny, but I think it's created. Out of your mind, Mansur means crazy, not stupid. Okay, so let me add a few more of my own. You are a dummy. So another way to say dumb is you can say dummy, but you have to say you are a dummy, or you can say you are a dum-dum, and it's kind of funny. There we go. So you are a dummy, you are a dum-dum, and my boss's favorite one is you, and this one's kind of cool. I didn't really know this one. You were a numpty. So there you go. There's a cool one. Let me pull up numpty because I'm curious what the actual definition means. Numpty definition. There we go. Okay, so it's just that. A stupid or ineffectual person. And it's fun to say. You can say, oh, this guy's a numpty. You're kind of stupid or you don't have effect, apparently. You don't affect anything. So there's that's one of my favorite words these days, a numpty. Look at this numpty over here. Okay, cool. There we go. What else we got? Dull is boring. Let's say, let me go scroll up. Yes, a moron. You are a moron. So a moron is really stupid, right? You have an idiot. Well, actually, they're kind of the same. If you're a moron or an idiot, it's basically the same amount of stupid. So both of those work. Imbecile, yes. Imbecile is a little bit more formal, but you can use it. You are an imbecile, right? It sounds formal when you say that one. So I'm kind of working on the informal stuff today, but that's fine. We can use that. Dull means boring. Monotonous means the same thing every time, so it's not stupid. Deaf and dumb. Well, deaf is deaf and dumb. Naive means you don't have experience in the world, right? Like if you've never lived away from your parents, you are probably a little bit naive because you don't know about the world and how things work. Asinine, yes, a little bit formal. So I'm going to leave that one off. Mindless, foolish, okay. So let me go. I'm going to do a few more here. So let me get into my mode here. So you are stupid, you're a dummy, you're a dum-dum, you're a numpty, you're a moron, you're an imbecile, you're a jackass. This is a good one. So let me show you a picture of a jackass. And there's actually a movie called Jackass. Do you know this movie? Let's check this out. Jackass. See this movie? This movie is called Jackass, and that's Johnny Knoxville or something like that. And basically he does crazy things in this movie, like stuff like that. He does all these stunts that basically can hurt you. And when you do stuff like look at this, that is so stupid, man. Like that guy is a jackass. He's just why would you do that? It's crazy. So Jackass. That's what that show was called, or that movie was called. An ass is this. This is a donkey. We also say it's an ass. So a jackass is somebody who does look at this. This is crazy. Why would you ever do that? That's an alligator, a baby alligator, biting his nipple like jackass. You are a jackass. There we go. Good words. You're a jackass. You're a dummy. Let's see. What's some other words to say? Stupid. Stupid synonym. What do we got here? Unintelligent, ignorant, foolish, dull-witted, slow, idiotic. Yeah, you could change. You could say you are an idiot or you are idiotic. It's possible. This is Google. I don't want to use Google too much because it's not super cool. So we're gonna keep it real, and we're gonna do all this stuff here. Yeah. So I'm seeing the ones that you wrote there. They're okay, but I'm gonna give you the ones which kind of we use every day. So dummy, a dum-dum, a jackass, a numpty, a moron. There's more. I'm actually being pretty nice today. I'm keeping out some of the bad ones, but he's a jackass. He's a numpty. He's a fool. Yeah, sure, we did that. We get rid of those underlines there. Okay, anyways, so there we go. So there's a few. Awesome. Let's go on to the next category. And if we think of more later, we'll add them to the category. Next one, lazy and irresponsible. So here's two words. What are some ways to tell people they are lazy and irresponsible? So I'm kind of using, okay, let me say lazy or irresponsible. I put those two together. We'll see if they should be together. So here's number two. Number two is this one. Okay, so let me see what else you got. Your bananas means crazy. Insane is crazy. It's not stupid. Crazy, okay, that's fair. You could say you are crazy, which could be stupid, right? You're doing something which is so insane, so crazy or insane. But be careful because it's almost getting to the point where you're changing it. Maybe I'm going to leave that one off there just to do that. What else we got here? You are thick-skulled, banana, procrastinator, loser. Okay, next one. So the next one is, what are some ways to tell people they are lazy? He is lazy. Lazy is useless. Yes, you can say useless. I actually have useless as my next one. So why did I have those? Maybe I should put those together. Useless means there's no use for you. Yeah, okay, you know what? Let's put those two together. What are some ways to say lazy, useless? Let's put those two together. So here's a new question. We'll see how this works out. So lazy What are some ways to tell people they are lazy, useless, or irresponsible? New question. So basically the same, but a little bit different. Okay, so we can say he's lazy. What do you guys got in different? He's half-assed. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. He half-asses everything. That's a good one. So this is a verb. You say half-ass. Half-ass means you don't do a good job. So that could be irresponsible, possibly lazy, right? So, like, let's say your parents, they say, oh, can you do this for us? And you kind of do the job, but not very well. You half-assed. You half-assed the job. So you didn't really do it very well. So he half-asses everything. Means he doesn't do it. He does the job, like, not very well. Half-ass. Good one. What else we got here? No. Yeah, it's on point today. He is a bum. And a bum is your butt. Your butt. You know what I mean? Your butt. Let me show. Oh, now I'm going to show you a picture of butt. Butt. Your butt. This piece over here, your cheeks. So he is a bum. It's, be careful with this one. Don't call, like, it's kind of a bad word. So if you say someone is a bum, it means they're lazy. Yes, that's fine. But be careful, because some people say, like, people on the street, like homeless people, they say, oh, he's a bum. So you're a bum. That means you're lazy, like a homeless person. So be careful. Don't insult homeless people. Sometimes you don't know what's going on. There was an interesting thing that happened to me on the train the other day, but don't insult. So be careful. But you can say it for people like friends and stuff. You can say, oh, you're a bum. Get up and do something, you lazy bum. And there's a good one. So you're lazy, and you can even put lazy in there. He is a lazy bum. There we go. Boom. Nice. Couch potato. So a couch potato is a person who, sits on the sofa a lot. Lazy. So we could say he's a couch potato. That's not bad. But that's specifically for staying at home and watching TV. Sluggish, carefree. Okay, so let me go into the vault here. So he's lazy. He's a lump. So how do I do this? How can I do this? Okay. He is a lump. What is a lump? A lump is like, I don't know. Let's see if I can find a picture of a lump. No, it's not going to be good. A lump is like something. It's like something on the ground. We don't know what it is, but it doesn't move. So we call, that guy's a lump. He doesn't do anything. He just sits there, and he doesn't go anywhere. He doesn't work in class. For me, I got students who are lumps. They just sit there. When we give sugar, we say, oh, how many lumps of sugar do you want? So it's a kind of a counting thing. But if you're a lump, that just means you're a lazy bum. You don't do anything. So he's a lump. Lazy. He is good. Oh wait, that's the next one I was going to do. Yeah. So useless. That's where it goes. That's what I wanted to do with that one. Good for nothing. He is good for nothing. You understand, right? So this is a collocation, we might say. And you can say just like this. He is good for nothing. What can he do? Nothing. He's good for nothing. There's no use for this person. He's good for nothing. Okay, so, you good for nothing child or something like that. You don't do anything. Good for nothing. He half-asses everything. He's a bum. He's a couch potato. He's a lump. He is good for nothing. He is a waste of space. You know what I mean? Like, let's say I'll use examples of students. Sometimes we have a student, and the student is in class, but he doesn't do anything. And I say he because it's usually the boys. He doesn't do anything. So he is not useful in any area. He's just a waste of space. Why is he here? He doesn't do anything. A waste of space. So there we go. Nice collocation there. What else we got here? Okay, no. It's a good thing I'm here. So he is good for nothing. There we go. It's a good thing that I'm here, guys, because I think you need some help with this topic, and I'm here for you. Okay, I can't think of anything right now, but we'll come back to it. Next one, smart. You can insult people, SMRT, like we do it, but you can also insult people for being too smart, right? You're like, oh, you're too smart. So I don't like you, so I'm going to insult you in a fun way. We're not going to hurt anybody's feelings. We're just going to do it fun. So now I'm going to do they. They are, how would you say someone is too smart? A nerd, of course. Very nice, Edgar. Very nice. They are a nerd. So, or you could also say a geek. And those two things are basically the same. So let me show you a picture of a nerd. In case you didn't know, a nerd is this. These are nerds, right? But actually, this is actually kind of an old word. So this guy. So actually, these days, nerd is cool. It's cool to be a nerd, and but this is kind of where the meaning came from. You got these kids in high school with the glasses or something. That's kind of the origin of nerd. This guy was on a famous TV show. It was called Urkel or something like. I can't remember what the show was called, but he was a classic nerd. But nerds are cool today, so you can call someone a nerd, but be careful because nerds are cool. So you can say, oh, he's a nerd. He's a book nerd. He's a comic book nerd. He's a movie nerd or a movie geek. But be careful. Like I said, it's kind of cool these days. So you can say he's a book nerd, for example. All right, there we go. What else do you say? Someone's smart. Yeah, but remember, we want insults, right? We want something to say. You can say someone is book smart, but it's not a bad thing. It just it's not super bad. It's just you're kind of saying, he's learned a lot from books, or she learned a lot from books. A brainiac, that's not bad. Yeah, you can say, oh, this person, yeah, she's a brainiac. Usually it's for students who really study a lot in school. You say, oh, he's a brainiac or she's a brainiac. Or read your book, brainiac, or something like that. That's an old school one. Astute, yeah, but it's not an insult. Egg-headed, no. Clever, no, but these aren't insults. A smart cookie's not bad, but that's a good thing. It's not an insult. So yes, you're right. A smart cookie's good. Like if my niece or something was being really smart, I say, wow, you're a smart cookie. You're pretty smart. So it's a good thing. Maniac, no. Smarty pants. There we go. Nice one, JB. Smarty pants. So how do we even say that? We say, oh, good job, smarty pants, or something like that. Or that's almost like a little kid insult, but we can use it. Smarty pants. So I'm going to delete that one because it's hard to use, actually. It's something you just put at the end of the sentence, like, oh, look at you, smarty pants, or something like that. You say, like, you're kind of insulting them because they're so extra smart. A bookworm, a know-it-all. Yeah, that's a good one. They are a know-it-all. So basically, do you have a friend and your friend always is trying to, tell you everything. It's like, oh yeah, you want to do this? Oh, you have to do that. Or, oh, you want to do this? You have to do that. So your friend is a know-it-all. Your friend thinks that they know everything. So you can call that friend a know-it-all. Mr. Know-it-all or something like that. Okay, there we go. Smart. Anything else? So what's another way? He's a book nerd. He's a geek. He's a brainiac. Sorry, let's change that. They are book nerds. They are geeks. They are brainiacs. I'm just putting this in different forms so you guys can see that we use it in different way. They are brainiacs. They are know-it-alls. All of those work. I'll think of more later. Okay, next one. Next one is, what are some ways to tell people they are nice? All right, yeah, you can insult somebody for being too nice. It's possible. So here we go. Let's get into that topic here. So you want to say, oh, you are too nice, too much, What are some things you might say? Nice, I'll put kind in there as well. Yeah, but that's not an insult, right? We got to do insults. Nice or kind, or nice, kind. Okay, what else? What could you say? Oh, that's actually a difficult one. You're too nice. You're boring. Yeah, no. You're so nice. Yeah, maybe. Here, let me give you a new one. Let's change. Let's not use we. You are a goody two shoes. Boom, that's the one I wanted to use. Goody two shoes. Why do we say goody two shoes? I have no idea why goody two shoes. But a goody two shoes means someone who is just good all the time. Like, you never do anything wrong. You're just like always doing things correctly, okay? So a goody goody two shoes never does anything, but you're like, hey, do you want to go for beers on Friday night? And they're like, no, I gotta stay home and I gotta study. Like, oh, come on, goody goody two shoes, let's go drink a beer, right? And then hopefully you corrupt them, all right? So goody goody two shoes never do anything wrong, so you can call them that. Okay, there we go. Next, I don't know many of this one because it's a difficult topic. Probably I have them, they're in here, but you need a context and they come out. So you are a goody goody two shoes. You are, I can't think of anything else. So let's go on to the next one. What are some ways to tell people they are forgetful? There we go, good word. So here we go. What are some ways to tell people they are forgetful? That's the next one. Can we use it in academic essays? What do you think, Salua? Do you think you should call people good for nothing lazy bum in an academic essay? Absolutely not. You will not. That will not help you at all. So no, don't do it. Yeah, well, there you go. Well, Lali's not a goody goody two shoes. That's good. That's good. A troublemaker. We're going to get to more stuff later. So here we go. Next one. What are some ways to tell people they are forgetful? Good question. Let's see. He's forgetful. He... maybe this is not an easy one. He's forgetful. He... out of it. No, that's a little different. That's more like spaced out. Let's see what if Google can kickstart my ideas here. Forgetful definition. What do we got? Absent-minded. No, it's not helping. Ooh, scatterbrained. No, is that forgetful? He's scatterbrained? He's a scatterbrain. No, I'll be honest, this might be a bad one. I can't think of any. What do you guys got? No, ditzy. Interesting word. But I don't think ditzy is necessarily forgetful. But I like that word. I want to use that one. Ditzy. Where can I use ditzy? Not intelligent. Yeah, let's use it there. Where do we have that? No, we don't have that. I'm going to add a new category. That was a good. I want to use that one. So that'll be number 14. Terrible. Not intelligent. Not smart. Will be the next. We'll do that one later for sure. I'm going to put that right there so I don't forget about it. Ditzy. He is ditzy. Nice word. Oblivious. No, not exactly. An astronaut's wife. Dizzy. No. Okay, we're going to skip this one because honestly, I can't think of anything right now. Okay, next one. Good topic. Here we go. What are some ways to tell people they are annoying? Yes, this is the one we want. You want to tell somebody they're annoying. Maybe you have a little brother and you're like, this guy gets on my nerves. Let's do this one. This is a great one. So here we go. Ooh, an airhead. That means not smart. So I'm going to add that to the list down here. Not smart, you can say an airhead. That's a good one. So I'll start adding these to the other categories. An airhead. An airhead is like ditzy. It means kind of not smart. What are some ways to tell people that they are annoying? Okay, that's the next topic. Let's go here. What are some ways to tell people they're annoying? She is a brat. This is let's do some gifs here. Brat gif. And actually this was a toy as well. Oh, this should be good. Let's see here. What's up with this kid? Look at this kid. Oh my God. Freaking out. That kid is a little brat. What does brat mean? Brat is kind of like annoying, right? And sometimes the kids, when their parents give them too much money, they are spoiled. We call them spoiled little brats. So we kind of put those two words together. So this is a great word. That's a brat. The kids, you know the kids who are really loud? She looks like a brat. I don't like being told what to do. Yeah, sure, because you're a brat, right? You're not used to having this. What about this? What's going on here? Look at this kid freaking out. That kid is a brat. Awesome word. And it's kind of an old school word. It's like a old, maybe 1980s word, so we can use it. It sounds cool. He's a brat. You can also say, punk. I think you can also say, that's good. Oh, ouch. Punk definition. Let's see what punk comes up as, because that's another one. A worthless person. Ooh, okay, there we go. Now we can add that to the other category. If you call someone a punk, it means they're not a useful person. So let's add that to our other list here. Punk. Okay, I use punk sometimes, but I kind of think of it as like a little troublemaker. But apparently it means useless. Okay, jackass. We've done the jackass. Punk. There we go. Yeah, Amar's on it. Some people are annoying. A chatterbox. Yeah, that's a good one. If somebody talks too much, you could call them a chatterbox. Like they talk too much because it's annoying, right? She's a brat. She's a punk. She's a little turd. This is my favorite one. I taught this one to my friend in Australia, and he loved it. He's a French guy, and a little. I don't want to really Google turd, but this is the word turd. So oh, okay, fine. There it is. That's a turd. That is a turd. It's like a little poop. Okay. So basically, you can call someone a little turd, and it's kind of like you are. And let me give you all of them. So you can call someone a little turd. You can call someone a little. You see that word? You know what that word is, right? Sorry, my head's in the way. But it's on the document, so you can call them a little turd or a little, okay? And there you go. So there, it's all on that document there. Check your document because it's all on there. So you can call someone a little turd. It's kind of funny. It's like, you little poop. We don't say poop, we say turd. You little turd. Stop causing trouble. Sit down and shut up, you little turd. Sounds like a bad word, but it's not really a bad word, so that's okay. Awesome. There we go. Yeah, turd. There we go. Bothersome. Yeah, bothersome. Gratuitous. Yeah, it's too polite. We're going for serious insults today that are useful and we use all the time. So you're a brat. You're a chatterbox. You're a little turd. You're a good for nothing. It's kind of annoying. Well, that's the other one. We did that was useless. A chatterbox. A brat. A punk. What else can we say? Yeah, that's it. Okay, well, we'll think about it. We'll come back. Maybe we'll do some more. This is a new word for this. Annoying. A windbag. What do we use a windbag? It sounds like old people. If you say she is an old windbag, it means she talks too much. See, these things are very specific. We should do a new category. Someone who talks too much, because I would put chatterbox in there as well. But an old windbag. That's a funny one. That's an old one. If you call someone an old windbag, it's usually because they're old and they talk too much. So they have a lot of wind, a lot of air in their bag. There we go. Okay, next one. The word is obsequious. And obsequious is a new word that I have to teach you. There's turd. The new word I have to teach you, because I don't really use this word, but this is what it means. Obsequious means you follow orders. Okay, so here it is here. You are obsequious. Now some people at my work use this word because most of them, not me, are pretty smart, so they use some good words. So obsequious means obedient. You always listen to other people. Or attentive. And we got some good words coming up here. So you are obedient or you are attentive. So obsequious. Another way to say obsequious is he is a. Now let me give you some setup here. So for example, if you have a class and your student always listens to the teacher, we call them a teacher's pet. Like, you have a little dog, it's your pet, right? It's my pet. But we call the teacher's pet is the student who's always being nice to the teacher, always helping, listening to the teacher all the time. So you can say that the teacher is with the student is with the teacher, not with the other students. It's like they're almost on the other side, the other team. So we call that person a teacher's pet. And another thing we call them, we say he is a brownnoser. And maybe you can figure out why you have a brown nose. Okay, so here we go, a brownnoser. So same idea, but not only for teachers. So for example, maybe your boss, right? So you say, "Oh, boss, you look great today. Oh yeah, that new idea you had, that was amazing." So why am I saying so many nice things to my boss? Because I want something. I want a better job. I want more money. So I'm saying many nice things to my boss. So basically, I am taking my nose and I'm kind of putting it up the boss's butt. Okay? So you're a brown noser. You're kind of rubbing your nose in there. You're going to love picturing that, but whatever. Brown noser means you are sticking your nose in his butt to get more advantage in your work. What do you think about that? That's a classic one. Okay, so again, remember, we're just using, Gertrudis, we're using easy words, and we're giving you insults to say for these situations. All right, so a bootlicker. A bootlicker. Sure. And that one, I'll be honest, Lolly, that might be a little bit old. JB, what about ethnic and racial insults? I'd rather not. I live in Vancouver. You know what I mean? We accept a lot of people here. We have a lot of people from different cultures. So I'm trying to keep, I don't want to teach you guys racial insults. It's not cool. You know what I mean? Like, if you live in a place where everybody is from different places, we don't want to insult anybody. Even if it's a funny joke, we don't want to insult anyone. So I'm giving you kind of like something you can use with almost anybody. What else we got here? Yeah, a little bit too controversial. And like I said, it's not cool. Don't need it. Nose in the butt. No. How can I explain brown noser? You're a brown noser. You are showing a little too much chest here. You're a brown noser. You want something from the boss. What's going on? You want something from the boss. So you know what I mean? Let's say Julian, you're in my class and you want better scores from your teacher. So you're nice to your teacher. Maybe you buy your teacher something. You tell the teacher he looks great today because you want better scores in my class. You are a brown noser. You are sticking your nose in an uncomfortable place. All right, so there we go. Brown noser, a teacher's pet. You are I think those two. Okay. Reckless. Reckless. What does reckless mean? Reckless means you are not careful. So let's talk about that. That's the next question. So obsequious was the next one. And the next one we're going to do, the next one is reckless. So here we go. Reckless. So if you don't know this word, reckless means not careful. So what are... Okay, fine. Ziad, you've inspired me. Here we go. You could also say he is a licker. There you go. You got it. You got it. There it is. That's for you. Okay, next one. What are some ways to say that people are reckless? They are not careful. You could say they are out of control. He's out of control. Like he's not careful. He's doing stuff which is really too crazy. He is out of control. They are out of control. He's a loose cannon. Kind of crazy, like a gun. The guns usually have control. You're like, here, shoot. But a loose cannon is like we're shooting everywhere. So a loose cannon would be someone who's reckless, out of control. You know, you can say he's careless, he's reckless. Both of those, let's put both of those words there. Careless, because we use both of those. Careless or reckless. There we go. So both of those are good. He's out of control. He's a loose cannon. Let's use she. She is out of control. She is a loose cannon. She is, what else? What's another way to say that? Can I make the writing bigger? Yes, I will. I'm still not very good at this. I keep screwing it up here. I gotta make this smaller and then I make this bigger. So let's try this here. There we go. maybe better. All right, so here we go. Get my head out of the way. So there we go. What are some ways? She is out of control. She's a loose cannon. She is, well, an idiot is stupid, right? Negligent, yes, you can use that word. Very formal word. I'm trying to keep it slangy, but there we go. Out of her mind. She's out of her mind. She's out of control. Possible. Out of control. Okay, next one. Let's go on to the next one. What are some ways to tell people they are evil? Good time. Man, we're going to run out of time before we even... I knew this was going to happen because we're so many things to talk about. What are some ways, and can't speak anymore, what are some ways to say someone is evil? He is, she is. A little devil. You know the devil, right? So you can say she is a devil, a little devil, not poop. A devil. All right, so there's the devil right there. You know, oh, there is Satan hanging out later. Devil. So you call someone a little devil, right? What else? You say someone, people evil. He is. What else? He's bad. Yeah, you could say Chucky. Yeah. He's a little devil. He's a little devil. He's wicked. He's wicked. Yeah, he's wicked. You could say he is wicked bad. Nah, it's really strong. Actually, maybe we don't say this one all. Diabolical? Yeah, maybe. Okay, you know what? I might. Walmart. Yes, Walmart is the devil. You're right. All right, I'm going to skip this one. Apparently, this was not a good topic. This is a good one. There's a few here. What are some ways to tell people they are weak? This is a good one. Not strong, but weak. And we'll do strong next. So here we go. Number 11. What are some ways to tell people they are weak? You are a big baby. All right? Not strong. Ooh, there's some good words here. You are a wussy. This is an old school word. I used to use this one in high school. If you say someone, if you call someone a wussy, it sounds like another word that starts with P, but this one is better because it's less rude. So if you call someone a wussy, it means they're like a big baby, like, you know, oh, you don't want to go here? You little wussy. You big wussy. You're being a big baby. Yeah, so you're a big baby. You're a wussy. Chicken legs are not the same. Yes, correct, Ziad. You got it right there. That's the one. You are chicken. Yeah, you can call someone you are chicken. Correct. Right? And followed closely by the arms and the sound of the chicken. You are, and you can say a little chicken if you want. A little chicken. And then you do that after, right? Okay, you are a little chicken. You are a wussy. You are, what else could you use? You are a wuss. You are a hen. Chicken. It's got to be chicken. Coward, yes, but that's, you know, that's a normal kind of way. But that means, coward means scared, not brave. And weak is like not strong. Okay, so there we go. There's a few. Maybe there's only a few. There's probably more, but that's fine. We'll just give you a few for today. Next one. A weakling yet? You could definitely use that as well. All right, so what are some ways to tell somebody they are strong? He's a tough guy. It's not really something special, but you could use it as an insult. Oh, okay, easy, tough guy. You know, don't kill me, right? So it's a combination of words we might use. He's a tough guy. He's a musclehead. This is for someone who is, they have a lot of muscles, but no brain. You say, oh, you big musclehead. Or meathead. Yeah, he's a meathead. A lot of meat, no brain. So you call someone a meathead. It means, it's kind of like, I think it's kind of like dummy, but it sounds like muscle, like you have a lot of meat. So you are a meathead. You have a lot of muscle, but no brain. You big dummy. Johnny Bravo. Yeah, exactly. Johnny Bravo is a good example. Ooh, candy ass. Very nice, Ziad. You are candy ass. That's like an old school one. Candy ass. There we go. Oops. Let's use the number. Let's use theirs. There we go. You're a little candy ass. Yeah, that works. Okay, very nice. You're a meathead. You're a tough guy. You're a musclehead. You have more. Nah, that's fine. Okay, so there we go. There's a few you can use as well. Terrible. What are some ways to tell people they are terrible? Like, I don't know, terrible person. You're a terrible person. We did some of them already, so I think we might skip that one. Like, you're a little and you're a little brat and you're a little turd. That's kind of the same idea as the one we were using. Okay, so we'll skip that one. There we go. Let's go to the last one. They're not smart. Let's use that one. So let's see what are some ways to tell somebody they are. Ooh, I got some good ones. I got some good ones here. I got a few. What are some ways to tell people they are not smart? So here's the one Ziad had, which is a good one. She, we're going to use she because usually we might call a girl ditzy. She is ditzy. Let's see if we can find a GIF with ditzy, shall we? Ditzy. And let's GIF it up. Ditzy GIF. Yes, here we go. Yeah, awesome. Let's see what we got here. See this girl. See this girl? Does she look smart to you? Or do you think she's kind of like, you know, like all the time, just ditzy? It's not, it definitely means smart. What else we got here? You have any more Look at this girl. There's a perfect example. If you do that, sometimes you might be ditzy. That's pretty awesome, that GIF right there. Boom. Okay, so there you go. That's ditzy. It's like pretty girls who are not smart. They're just beautiful, but they're not smart. We might call those girls ditzy. An airhead would be the same idea. No, nothing inside, just nothing there. People are not smart. This is an old school one. I'm going to teach you some real old school. A nincompoop. You are a nincompoop. I don't even know how to spell that. That's so old. Nincompoop. Let's check it out. How do you spell it? Nincompoop. There we go. There it is. Nincompoop. Nincompoop means a foolish or stupid person. Okay, so, actually, I have to go back up to my top list here. So it's actually up here. The very first one we did is a nincompoop. You are a nincompoop. It's kind of an old school English word to use to tell somebody, oh, bimbo, boom, that's it. That's the winner right there. She is a bimbo. Okay, let's do a GIF, shall we? Let's do a bimbo here because that's awesome. Bimbo, similar to ditzy, but this, so a bimbo is like, again, a girl, very, very sexy, no brains, a bimbo. And usually blonde bimbo, right? Blonde hair, very sexy. This girl could, if this was a real girl, that would be a bimbo. Maybe these two girls right here, those two girls are bimbos. They don't look, they look nice, but they don't look very smart. You could call that girl a bimbo. There we go. Very nice word. Very nice, Julian. That was a good one. Oh, Raunak. That was a very nice one. Nincompoop. Bimbo. Cuckoo means crazy. A little bit old, that one. The lights are on, but nobody's home. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a combo word. Oh, you get combo points. Very nice. How do I write that? Yeah, okay. So let's put that just in there. The lights are on, but nobody's home. You can see this person is alive, but this person doesn't seem to have a brain. So the lights are on, but nobody's home. That's what it means. This person doesn't really have a brain. Nuts means crazy. So that's another one. Okay, there we go. Very nice. Do we got any more? Let's get one more category in here. So we talked about how to talk about people. Let's see. Let's do one more while we're here. So we had some people who are strong, some people who are smart. Give me another category. We had strong people, smart people, careless people, annoying people, people who listen all the time, smart people, lazy, useless, or irresponsible, stupid. What's another category of people that we could use that we might want to insult? I didn't put on in the sentence, did I? Oh, okay, the lights are, you're right. Thank you, Julian. That was a test, you passed. The lights are on, but nobody's home. Nice people. Yeah, we did nice people already, Miriam. That was that we had a few. I think it was Goody 2 Shoes was one we did there. So we got nice people, we got smart people, we got lazy people. What's another category of people? Nervous people? How about nervous? Is it an insult? Yeah, why not? Let's try that. Dingus. Giddy. Giddy means excited. Dingus means stupid. A dingus. Yeah. Cranky, yeah. So let's do one more here. What are some ways to tell people they are? How about angry? Did we do angry? We didn't do that, did we? We could do that. Angry. But, cranky, angry, cranky pants, loser, not cool. Yeah, we have to do that one. We got to tell, yeah, we got to do that one. What are some ways to tell people they are not cool? Because I saw you guys were saying loser, and I thought, but I didn't have a category for that. Now I have a category. Okay, Ahmed's got one here. What's the meaning of prick and goof? A prick, did we do this one? A prick is a jerk. So I can add that to our category here. You want to say somebody is rude. I might create a new category. Where did I feel stupid, nice, lazy, obsequious, annoying. I'm going to create a new category for you here as well. So what are some ways to say people are rude? That'll be the next category. One more. I think that's going to do it for today. So 16 is what are some ways to tell people are rude? Okay, so what do we got? So what are some ways to tell people they are not cool? I can say she is, let's go he. He is a loser. Not a winner, a loser, right? So he's a loser. He's a, if you want to go really strong, you could call somebody a nobody, all right? But be careful with that. That one's really rude, right? These are like, these are, you know, when I'm teaching you these things, you can say these things to your friends. This is the language, and it's funny because you're joking, right? Because you're joking around. But if you call your friend a nobody, it's pretty strong. So maybe I won't put that one on there. He's a loser. What else could you say? He's a, yeah. Okay, let's go to 16, and I'll come back to 15 because let's go to 16 because this one I think has a lot. Number 16. What are some ways to tell people they are rude? Yes, because there's lots here. So he is a jerk. A jerk is a rude person. He is okay. Do you know what I'm talking about? He's a dick. He's a jerk. No. He is a dirt bag. It's pretty strong, that one. A dirt bag. It's like a really rude guy. You could call him, like if a guy cheats on his girl, you could call that guy a dirt bag, big time. Or a scumbag. There you go. Big words. So again, it is like special occasion words, like, you know, he's a scumbag. He cheated on his girlfriend or his wife. There we go. JB's got it. Scumbag. A dirtbag, a scumbag. He's a jerk. He's a dick. He's a prick. This is a good one. This is similar to jerk. He's a prick. It's a word we use. He's a jerk. He's a prick. He's an a-hole. Of course you're going to use this one, right? I can just do that. He's an asshole. There we go. I'm trying to blur my words here, but there you go. That's one you can use. This is common. I gotta teach you that one, right? If you want to keep it a little bit more, PC, politically correct, you could say he's a butthole or a bumhole. Maybe a butthole. That'll do. All right. Very nice. What else we got here? Yeah, rude and not cool. He's a loser. He's a nobody. That's strong. Don't use that one. He's a... Yeah, cocky is like arrogant. So it's not exactly the same. But yeah, so cocky is not necessarily... It could be probably rude, but not necessarily. He's a loser. He's a... That's it. I got it. I think that's all I got here, guys. All right, so there it is. Pretty awesome. I like this class. This was fun. He's a noodle. Is he a noodle? No. No, not a noodle. So anyways, there you go. That's pretty good. So there you go. Of course, there's more. There's so many more, and maybe I'll have to do a second class on this topic because I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to call this class number 1 on insults because I think there's a lot of insults that we're missing here. Yes, lolly, that's a good one. You can use that one. Corny, brutal, no. Yeah, okay, so there we go. Oh, creep. There we go. Edgar's got one. He's a creep. Is it rude? He's a creep. He's rude. Creep is a little different. It's more like, ooh, douchebag. Very nice, JB. Ding, 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 ding. Douchebag is a great word. Sorry, it's not a great word. It's a little bit rude, but you can Google what is a douchebag, and then you'll understand what the meaning is. Heartless? Yes, without heart. You know, he's a heartless. We might put heartless together with something else, like he's a heartless butthole, right? Because it's an adjective, so we might put it with something else. Oh, JB, you're making me work more. Yes, that's a good one as well. So he is an asshole. He is douchebag. He is. That's a good one too. It's an old school one. He's an asshole. Putz. Putz is a good word, Lolly, but it's for clumsy. So let's, there we go. So where was that word? We had not smart. Where was it? Strong. Careless. A putz. She is a putz. I had a friend who was a putz. She would always walk into tables and go, ow, and it was really funny. So she is a putz, or you could say she is putsy. Putsy. You could say that. Now what was the other one? There was putz and a klutz. You can also call someone, you say, oh, she is a klutz. She's always hitting the table or hitting, she's like walking and she, ow, and she hits herself all the time. So klutz or klutzy. You can call someone klutzy. Good word, very nice. What else we got there? Klutzy, putsy. Nub. Knob, maybe. There we go. Klutzy. Douchebag, Ted, and you almost got it. Check your spelling there, but you got it. Doesn't have the balls. That's courage, right? So someone who doesn't have the courage. A tampon. Don't call people a tampon, JV. That's not nice. But I think that's it. I think that's a good introduction to insults. Maybe we can do another class in the future and talk about all the topics that we didn't talk about, because there's millions of topics that we can still do. But these were a good introduction to say some general stuff, right? All right, so there we go. That's what we're going to do today. I hope you guys enjoyed all the wonderful. We didn't get time to insult anyone. Like, we could have gone online and looked at some famous people. Like, I don't know, maybe this man. Could have looked at this dude here. Could have talked about Trump, done some insults there. That would have been a good follow-up activity where we can insult this guy, because he's a douchebag. So there we go. Anyways, so go insult your friends in a nice way. Don't be rude to them. Don't call them nobodies. But they're kind of funny words that you can use. Next time you watch a TV show, listen for some of these insults. They might pop up. I actually had another activity, so if you want, just for fun, go to the bottom of the document and you can go to this link here. Where did it go? Not this. I'm going to get rid of that. This one here. There was a website. Oh, where did it go? Insults. So basically just search insults. Not gifts, just insults on the internet, and you will come to this page, which I really liked. There's some pretty funny stuff on here, so go ahead. This is your homework. check it out. Pun me, funny insults, and check out. There's some good stuff here. For example, if laughter is the best medicine, your face must be curing the world. No, I'm not insulting you, I'm describing you. That's a good one. And then, you're so fake, Barbie is jealous. And my personal favorite, which was pretty funny, the only way you are ever going to get laid is if you crawl up a chicken's butt and wait. And with that, that's the end of today. Have yourselves a great weekend. Enjoy the insults. Practice them. Keep your pronunciation good. And we'll see you next time. Bye, crew. See you later. Have yourselves a great weekend, and we'll see you next Monday.